So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Business Spotlight interview. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Kev. Kev, please introduce yourself and your business to the community, if you would.
Hi Claire, thank you for your time. My name's Kev Cox. My business is Clear Property Sourcing. We're based in the West Midlands and we help investors and funds find properties in the property market.
Perfect. And tell us just a little bit more about that. So how long have you been doing it for, as an example?
Sure. So personally, I've been an investor for several years now. I have my own small portfolio of buy-to-let properties and rent-to-rent properties in the service accommodation arena. But we also source and work with investors, funds, those pension funds or investment funds, hedge funds, to help them find properties that they can put into their own property portfolio that will cash flow and gather a capital appreciation over a number of years. And we do that in a number of different ways. But in a nutshell, that's sort of what we do.
Perfect. And who would you say your best customer is?
Yeah, it is a hedge fund, a pension fund, or an investment fund that specifically focuses on property as a particular investment. And the reason they focus on property because, you know, statistics show over the last 50 years that property generally doubles in value every 10 years. So it's a great investment, not just for capital appreciation, but for cash flow. So a great customer for us: funds, hedge funds, investment funds, and also high net worth individuals, those that are based abroad or in the UK that are looking to invest and put some of their cash into that vehicle, which is property.
Amazing. That sounds fantastic. And I mean, currently, obviously, the elephant in the room is the current economic climate, but in particular, and I don't want to mention the C word, but you know, we've had COVID, we're in this position of uncertainty again. Were there any business changes that you considered historically that are now a necessity that you've implemented, or have you just had to kind of pivot and sort of roll, I suppose, with the times over the past couple of years? How's it affected you?
Yeah, I mean, the property market constantly changes. There's a lot of contributing factors of why it changes. You know, obviously, we're seeing interest rates, COVID, cost of living, fuel costs. So it's constantly changing, and you have to pivot, as you say. You have to keep constantly moving with what the market's doing. At the moment, there's an expectation that the market will drop between 5 and 10% over the next year, 18 months. And that's probably down to a correction of the craziness that we've seen the last 2 years in the market. You know, double-digit growth on year on year is just, you know, unheard of. So we just have to move, and our business has been affected by the recent increases in interest rates, and we've had to change and say, okay, we need to shift our model to probably more focus on cash flowing property opportunities as opposed to capital appreciation, because with the increases in those interest rates, it is making some opportunities not viable, and unfortunately, you know, investors are backing out. So we just need to twist that, pivot, and change that into actually what can we do to improve our investors' cash flows, and that's what we're doing right now. We're going through that at the moment.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And as you say, you know, we saw that massive boom, that supply and demand, and then, you know, normalization as we perhaps would see it outside the past couple of years.
Yeah.
What would you say over the past couple of years has been one of your biggest learnings?
I think for me, particularly as a business owner, my learning is I can't do everything. I physically cannot do everything. I've learned that, I think, speaking with other business owners, not particularly just in property, but just business owners in general, is the fact that you've got to leverage other people's time and understand what are those, as they say, profit generating tasks, those high value tasks, and understanding what is going to bring business in, what is more effective to getting that business to where it needs to get to. And I think leverage is probably the biggest word that I would point to make sure that we don't get bogged down by the lesser tasks and use other people's time to get those done. Really, that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, amazing. And what would you say has been one of your biggest successes?
Oh, I think for me personally, I think, you know, the biggest learning curve for me is just understanding what I need to do and what my goals are. I think it's been massive because I've come from the corporate world for the last 15, 20 years, and understanding actually my time is more important than I actually give. And I think the biggest you know, success for me is actually freeing my time up and spending more time with my family, and being more flexible, being more fluid. I think that's one of the biggest wins for me, just being fluid with my time, saying, okay, I'm not fixed to a 9 to 5. That's fine, but it also then just gives me that opportunity to spend more time with my family. So that's probably my biggest success really right now.
Yeah, amazing. And I love that, you know, that fluidity. The world is changing around us,
Yeah.
And the flexibility that people are demanding, if not expecting, now is also changing as well. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. If you were now talking to someone thinking about starting a business, what advice would you give them?
I think for me, I think it's just understanding that you can't physically do everything. You know, turn to people with the experience, the knowledge, the understanding, and just sort of, you know, chew the fat with them, pick their brains, really get to understand actually what is the best way to go with leveraging, with goals, with targeting. I think that's probably the biggest advice I say. Don't go into it expecting that you're going to do everything and have, you know, instant success, because that's just not reality. So for me, it would just be speak to people that have got a lot of experience, and turn to other people for leveraging their time to get your business to where you want it to be.
Yeah, that collective intelligence is so powerful. And looking back on your journey so far, can you sum it up in 3 words, or what 3 words would you choose?
Leverage without a shadow of a doubt. Time and amazing. Those 3 words. I know they're completely random words, but if I think about it, leveraging other people's time, getting more time for myself, and it's just been an amazing, eye-opening experience.
Fantastic, and you can't ask for fairer than that. That is all of my questions. However, is there anything else that you would like to share today with our Business Spotlight audience?
No. It's been a great experience, Claire. Great to actually, sometimes I think when people ask these questions, it does provoke thoughts, and it's just been nice to actually think about my business and, you know, where my business has come from and is going.
No, and congratulations. What an amazing journey so far. And it'll be really interesting to do this again sometime in the future and see where you are next time. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.